Recording, yay! Hi everybody, and welcome to the second round of the Southern Romantics New Consultant webinars. We're starting today. It's December 20th with call number 1, where we're going to just kind of walk everyone through a little bit what it's like to be a new consultant with Pure Romance. So this is officially titled First Things First, yay! So welcome to everyone who's on this call. We've got Cindy and we've got Casey. Casey is one of our newest consultants. She just joined this week with a great founders sale, and she is doing the right thing, hopping on a webinar. First things first. So the purpose of this webinar and how it's going to go for the next 8 weeks. This is an 8-week long session. You can hang out with me all 8 weeks. You can pop on when you want to. You don't have to. You can always watch these on YouTube afterwards. But the purpose of these webinars is to complement the training that you're going to receive online in Party School, which is something you can start now with your consultant ID, and help answer deeper questions that you're going to naturally have as a new Pure Romance consultant. So the first thing we're going to start off with is our reward and incentives guide. So we will receive the 2016 probably next week. So that's going to be for you and I, Cindy. Casey, you're going to get yours in your kit when it arrives. So right now we're just going to use the 2015 one because that's the one that we got. But this will change a little bit as we go through next year, just especially with the giveaways and the trips and the deadlines, because obviously we've got a week and a half left of this year and we're not really working towards this anymore. But I'm going to pull this up in a PDF form to share with you guys so that you can see what I'm looking at. So let me get that pulled up. Let me shrink it down so it's not so big. So the first thing we are going to talk about is our fast track. So the fast track is, as a new consultant, you are going to be checking this out and putting this on your big fat to-do list. So something that you can do, let's scroll down to where that exists. So this is all available to you. Okay, here we go, fast track. Let me go back up a page and over. So now hopefully you guys can all see this. Let me see if I can shrink down a little bit more. Oh, I will get this figured out. Here we go. Okay, the new consultant fast track program is right here. So you have 60 days as a new consultant to achieve these benchmarks, which is going to be really, really awesome. So the first one is, if you achieve $1,000 in personal retail sales, you're going to receive a Pure Romance necklace. Now, if you're not motivated by jewelry, this might not be anything for you, but even if you're not a big jewelry person, like I'm not, it's a great way to market your business. So it's also just a fun surprise. I know Cindy earned it within her first 60 days of business, and it was just kind of like a happy surprise with her order, and she was like, wow, this is amazing. So it's nice to get recognized. I know a lot of people who come into Pure Romance don't get a lot of recognition at their day jobs and at their 9-to-5s. But here at Pure Romance, we're all about just giving you stuff because you're awesome. So if you do 1,000 in sales within your first 2 months of business, you're going to get a pretty necklace. And remember, that's retail sales. That's not out of pocket your commission rate. That's just the retail value. And if an average party is about $400 or $500, that's 2.5 parties. So that's easy to achieve within your first 60 days of business. If in your first 60 days you bring in a new consultant, which is something that we definitely encourage you to do, you're going to get a really sweet little Pure Romance pin. So you're going to get the heart that you can wear on your lapel or on your blazers. And again, another great marketing tool. One of the things that we understand, not everybody gets into this business to grow a team. That's totally fine. But what we've found is when newer consultants recruit, you don't have to know what you're doing. I'm 4.5 years in this business and I still don't always know what I'm doing. So you guys definitely don't have to know what you're doing. If you have someone interested at a party in joining, go ahead and get them signed up. I will help you do all the rest. We'll get them on these webinars and we'll all figure it out together. But we have found that people who recruit within their first 60 days of business stay in the business longer. They feel like someone's going to hold them accountable, and so they're more motivated. And once you start earning that override check off of the person that you've sponsored, that's the money that you're going to earn off of their sales. That's really nice, because we're just paying you for being awesome. Yay! So that's great information that's in this book. So put the fast track on your to-do list. as a new consultant is something that you're going to kind of strive for. Another great opportunity that we offer is this new consultant inventory credit program. So I know that at the beginning of the year, this is going to get a little bit tweaked. You'll want to make sure that you read up on the 2016 Incentives and Rewards Guide for more information on this. But how it's worked previously is if within, again, your first, I believe it's 60 days of business as well, right? I think, let me see. Well, no, I don't even think it's in your first 60 days. If you activate your business, which Casey, you've already done because you got the deluxe kit, so you've already promoted up to advanced consultant. Whoop, whoop. When you get 3 parties entered into the COO, which is our consultant online office, and I'm going to help you with all of those because we're going to have a pop the box and 2 launches. There's your 3 parties. You are going to be offered $1,000 worth of inventory. Now you're going to pay half price. So you're going to be paying like a 50% discount, which right now is great because you get a 45% discount, but this is going to get you a little extra more, a little extra special discount, and you can pay it back in 5 installments of 99 bucks. It's interest free, and that is really going to help you be able to fill your customers' orders right away. Casey, you know, because you've been to my parties, it's really nice to be able to take your stuff home. It kind of stinks when you have to wait for your goodies. So your customers are going to be feeling that same type of way. And we have found that consultants who carry inventory, again, are more successful in the business. They make more money right off the bat, and they stay in the business longer. So this is just one of those opportunities that we've studied. We really have studied. We've tracked consultants who went through the pilot programs of this, and they are kicking ass and taking names. So if you got into this business to make money and keep your customers happy and have them coming back to you, then this is a great opportunity for you guys to take advantage of. I am going to stop sharing that, get back to my big face, and pull up our team handbook, which was just made available to our team on December 7th. And I believe I already have emailed it to you, Casey. And if I haven't, then I'll get my stuff together and I'll do it. Okay, good. I thought I did. This was just a crazy week adding all of you beautiful ladies to our team. Okay, so what I'm going to do is pop this open real quick and share my screen with you guys so you can see a little bit more about it. You guys already have this available to you. So hopefully you'll be familiar with it. I do encourage you guys to print it out every year. I keep my rewards book with me, and I keep our team handbook close. Just as a reference tool, I take them to meetings with new consultants all the time. So it's good to, if you have like, I've got a Pure Romance tote bag that I usually carry with me everywhere, and it's usually got all this paperwork. So if I don't know the answer to something, I can look it up. So in here is all this wonderful information. The most important, well, I won't say the most important because it's all important or else I wouldn't have made it, is focusing on, boom, here we go. All this kind of fun stuff. This, where do I start? What do I do? Again, the fast track is recapped here, how to set goals, our history, team meetings. These awards are going to be awesome for you guys to familiarize yourself with, to see all the free stuff that I'm going to give you for being awesome. All the fun outings that we've got planned that our leadership committee kind of put together to get people excited. And then way down here, near the end, is important dates. So for all the dates I had available from the corporate office and from what we set up at our 2016 strategy session, it's all listed here. So what I would encourage you as a new consultant, or even just coming into the new year, is put all these on your calendar. Whatever calendar you choose to use to track your business and your life, go ahead and put these in so that you can plan ahead for them. I'm a stickler for dates and deadlines. So if anybody on my team ever says, oh, I had no idea, I don't deal with that. I love you very much, but I'm going to call BS because you had all this information available to you. So just go ahead and make sure it's on your calendar now so you can plan for it. Obviously, Pure Romance is going to be whatever level of priority for you that is right for you, and you're the only one that can choose that, and I will respect that, and our team will respect that. But it's nice to be able to plan ahead. Now, I know people who have real jobs and all that kind of fun stuff, it gets a little weird trying to balance things. I totally understand. But being able to at least plan out for your business so you can chunk out that time that it's going to deserve, it's going to be good for you in the long run. Okay, so now I'm going to get back to my big face and pop over to the COO. So the COO is our consultant online office. You should have gotten an email with your consultant ID, and your login is typically the last 4 digits of your social security number. I'm getting ready to pull this right up so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Boom, yay! So when you get a chance to hop on here, this is seriously where I lived for about the first 2 weeks of my business, but I also didn't have a job, didn't have anything else to do, so I clicked on every single button I could find here. But where I want you as a new consultant to focus on is this training center tab right here. So when you hover over it, it just drops down, and this first box, it says Party School. This is where I want you to hang out. So you'll be able to open Party School up in a separate window. And this is basically just an online course. So if you've taken online courses before, this is pretty much everything that it does. So these are all the wonderful classes that you can take. When you're brand spanking new, you will start with an orientation and consultant 101. And then when you advance, then you're going to get new classes opened up to you. And you can see up here where you earn points. This is handy because twice a year we get to trade in these points for swag. Yay! Everyone loves swag. So Party School is where I'd really encourage a newer consultant to hang out. If you've just got 30 minutes, if you've got an hour you want to dedicate to your business, that's going to be what's up. Other places on the COO that is important for you to know is if you go under My Business and My Information, as a new consultant, you want to double check that your information is correct. So if someone back home is looking for your website, make sure everything's spelled right, all that kind of fun stuff. So you can hop over to your website. You'll see what your web address is. So that's mine, but obviously your name's going to be different. If you're like, nah, I don't want a website, you can click that, but don't, because that's a terrible idea. You can upload a photo, which I have found is really handy, especially if you end up partying with strangers and you've never met them and they've never met you. They'll at least be a little bit more familiar with what you look like. And if you Facebook stalk them, you'll be able to tell you're at the right house. Make sure the contact information, you can hide information that you don't want. And then here's where you can personalize your website. So if you have an announcement, or if you're like, you can find me on all these things, then you can update and personalize your website a bit. And then you can put different announcements that are set up on a calendar. So if you're like, I'm going to be at wedding festivals this weekend, or here's the winner from the drawing that I pulled at this thing, you can do all that here and set a publish and an expiration date. So that's just kind of fun information. What else do I need to show you over here on the COO? Oh, this is important. When you are like, yay, I've done a party. How do I get my people their stuff? So here's how you place a regular order. If you just click up here at the top, you can also go to orders and place regular order, but it's right across here at the top. I love this because you can either click through like the catalog and see, ooh, maybe let's not look at that. This is gonna be on YouTube. All right, so you can see all of our beauty products and all that kind of fun stuff. Or you can just pop over and do it an item list. So if you know that you're like, oh yeah, books, let me go ahead and figure that out. Then here's where you're gonna enter the quantity that you want. Here's the retail value, but here is where you are and what your discount's gonna be. So we'll charge you your discounted rate, but it'll keep track of your retail. And then down here where you see this little exclamation point, this is how you're going to be able to see what the daily sale is, but you also get an email every day letting you know what the sale is. So if you notice that, okay, so today is $600. If you're at like $550, go ahead and add a couple bottles of Coochie Cream on so you can get a sweet discount off your order. Sometimes the daily sale is like, if you hit this benchmark price, they're going to give you free product. If you're close enough to that that you feel it's worth it, that's nice, because then that's product that you're making 100% profit off of. Ooh, I get really excited with those sales. And then of course, once you've been in the business a hot minute, the $19 shipping days are pretty much amazing, and we live for those days. What else do I need to show you about on here? Oh, okay, here's what's up. If you go under orders, order from business partners, boom, you want to go hang out over here at the print center. So when you order your kit, you will have, I think, 50 blank business cards that will come. What I recommend is just getting some return address labels, printing your contact information and sticking them on those blank business cards so you don't have to handwrite them all. But you can go ahead and order yourself now some pre-printed business cards that are legit and awesome and official, and they're really high quality, and they come in beautiful boxes like this. And they are just, I mean, if you've been to my parties, you guys know. I have business cards coming out of my ears because I give them away like candy. You can also, as you see, order banners, thank you notes, signage. So it's basically like our own little print office for marketing your business. So those are just some of the areas here on the COO that as a new consultant, I'd encourage you to check out more. Don't get overwhelmed by it because as you see, there are so many things to look at. Don't worry about all that. Just worry about party school, business supplies, and how you place your order. That's really all you have to focus on right now. As we get into it, this whole my parties area and my contacts is going to be really important for you to be able to track your business. But we'll get to that in another call or two, okay? I don't want to overwhelm you guys. Okay. So other fun things I want to talk to you guys about tonight, the importance of activating your business. If you're a brand new consultant, you have 60 days in which to tell Pure Romance, hey, I actually want to do this as a business, or I think I'm just going to keep my kit for myself. So if you bought the deluxe or premium, then you've already activated your business. Whoop, whoop. But if you bought a standard, you need to activate your business by placing an initial order. I believe right now it's 250, but I think next year it's just going to 200. But since your kits aren't shipping until January 4th, your 60 days starts then. And you get a 50% discount for the entire month of January. So wait and activate your business in January. Trust me, because you're going to be like, what, $200? That's maybe $100 out of pocket? Okay, let's do it. And if you have a couple parties, that's going to be super easy to do. So activating your business is going to kind of get the ball rolling. It's also going to help you qualify for that first $1,000 so you can do the fast track and get jewelry and all that kind of fun stuff. Other things, especially as new consultants that I'm going to be working with you on, we've got these webinars, but I'm also going to be texting you what I call my Mission Possible challenges. And they're just little reminders of how you get your business kind of up and running. And it's little things like open a bank account, create an email address for your business, just little tiny things like that that I'll just be texting you. And when you complete those missions and you let me know, then you'll get recognized with free stuff at a meeting. So if you like free stuff, well, at my parties, you know, I'm already giving away free stuff. If you've been a hostess of mine, you know I'm giving away free stuff. And it also happens for my team members too, because that's just who I am. Okay, so be on the lookout for Mission Possible text coming at you. So something that's important that you'll always hear me say is to stay a student with your business. In many different careers, you have to have ongoing education or different kind of credits like that. And I think it's, you know, it's very similar with Pure Romance that the technology is always changing, the business model is always changing. So knowing what's happening in the corporate office, knowing what's happening with your sisters, knowing what's happening just kind of out in the world is really integral for you to become a better consultant. So easy ways to stay a student is showing up to things. So our little motto that we have on our team is to show up to go up, because when you do show up, you do go up. So we offer team meetings here in Greenville. They're every second Monday at my house until we outgrow my house, and then we'll find somewhere else. But that's nice because then we have a potluck. Yay! And we get to eat. Corporate also offers 2 annual trainings a year. World Conference, which is typically in the spring, and the National Training, which is typically in August. National Training is more like classes, and World Conference will have classes, but it's going to be much more recognition of the previous year's achievements and accomplishments. So it's really cool to celebrate your sisters who are walking across the stage and getting recognized for a job well done, as well as taking some workshops for you. But if you're like diehard, I have got to figure out how I'm walking the stage next year, then make sure you're at the August training. Corporate also brings bus tours and that kind of fun stuff to us. So they bring the information to us, and they are coming to Atlanta, Columbia, Charlotte, Charleston, and Raleigh the first week of January. They're going all over the country the whole month of January, but that's where they're going to be closest to us. And don't worry, so Sarah, if you're watching this, she's our girl down in Texas. They're coming to you too. So if you can hop in my car and come on to one of those trainings, it's going to be amazing. And usually, I mean, my rule is always if I'm driving, you've got a ride. So just claim a spot, which I think both of you guys have, and you just get to come along with us. So it's a long day, little sleep, but it's definitely worth it. And then, of course, there's the online training, so party school, all that jazz. There's conference calls that are linked in your handbook that I've sent out. So if you are driving long distances or anything like that, you can just hop on a conference call, or if you need something to fall asleep to and learn it through osmosis, those are pre-recorded and they're good stuff. And of course, we've got this YouTube page, which you can just listen to me talk a whole lot by rewatching these videos. I want to talk quickly about time management. We'll definitely go in more depth with this later on, but time management, as soon as you are starting your business, just setting those habits at the beginning can be a really good thing. If you haven't read Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy, it's amazing. We had it as required reading for one of the leadership classes that I took with Peer Romance, and it really kind of helped me change how I viewed my business and how I prioritized my business. I was really good at making excuses of why I couldn't get everything done, but that was just me standing in my own way. So reading that book really kind of has made me more accountable to myself. One of my big rules of thumb is to touch it once. So when I get, where is it? Like I just, you know, if I have an order that comes in, or if I get these customer connection cards that I get from all my parties, my goal is to touch it once. I don't need to touch it, put it into my database, and then go put it into something else, and then go file it, and then, oh, what was that? And get it back out again. My rule is after the party, I go through these, I touch it once, I do everything I have to do with it, I put everybody in their groups, I upload them to my mailing list, I do everything, and then I file it away. And that way I don't have, well, I say this, but if you saw my office right now, you'd be like, Megan, you're a liar. But that way, ideally, I wouldn't have piles of stuff all over the place that just get you frazzled, because that's not going to help you. Developing a system is really helpful. And I did a video about what I do, like how I do my post-party wrap-up. So that's on our YouTube page. But developing a system for what you're like, just a timeline for your business. So if you have a party, what, like in what order do you do things to close out the party? Just kind of figuring out what's going to be right for you. And you can obviously, we can talk more in depth about that. You can see what I do. You're welcome to stalk me in my office. And just getting that kind of set up from the get-go is going to be really helpful so that you can run your business efficiently and you don't feel overwhelmed by paperwork, which is really honestly minimal. But if you just let it kind of sit and grow dust, then it's going to be much more intimidating. Something that I encourage all my consultants to do is to set office hours. So you guys know your schedule is better than anybody else. So if you're working a 9 to 5, and if you've got hobbies, then figuring out where you can kind of eke out an hour or two a week to do any of the paperwork or your coaching calls with your hostesses, or if you're doing all that via text, just to kind of set that up on a schedule so that you don't have to worry about it or forget about it and potentially lose that income. So setting those office hours is important. And if you need a little bit more help on where to find time, I can work with you guys one-on-one. But something that I found that kind of helps is, like if you've ever been to a nutritionist and they tell you to write down everything that you eat, it's basically the same thing. I want you to carry a calendar and write down everything that you do. So if you notice that you're like spending 3 hours on Facebook, seeing what everybody's doing, maybe that's time that you could have spent calling your hostesses or working with your new team members or coming to a meeting or working a party. So if you can find that time to kind of carve out in your day, it's going to be extremely helpful for you. And again, all you really need to do as a new consultant is concentrate on those income producing activities. Don't worry about how fancy your table looks and making sure that you have like the perfect accessories to decorate your table. Don't worry about creating these extravagant gift baskets. Oh, I just got a warning. We got 10 minutes left. We're going to knock this out. But when you're a new consultant, you need to get your parties on your schedule, all right? You need to work with your hostesses so your parties stay on your schedule, and you need to talk to your potential recruits. So anyone that has expressed interest, those are the 3 things that you really need to focus on. Don't worry about anything else really. You can always refine things later or add things, but if you spend so much time preparing your business to be amazing that the minute you're ready, you don't have any parties booked, you're gonna kind of be SOL, so we don't want that to happen to you. Ignoring those low priority items, and if you can't figure out what those are, a big one of those is called Facebook. Ignore it, all right? It can only help your business get so far, but you cannot run a business from Facebook. This is something that we talked about on our last call, and someone told me I needed to tell you guys during the first call. Turn off your notifications on your phone. If your phone is like, bzz, ooh, someone liked your picture, bzz, ooh, someone followed you on Instagram, bzz, 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 turn it off. You will be able to live just fine, not knowing the second someone liked your Facebook post. You can check that later. You can check it when you're at a red light. You can check it when you're in the bathroom. You can just, you'll find other times to check your Facebook. But letting that interrupt you when you should be getting real life done, it's just a time suck. Turn off your phone notifications. Things like labeling your products or stickering your catalogs, you can do that while you're watching TV. So don't be like, oh, I need to set out an hour to put stickers on everything. When you're watching your Bachelorette or your Housewives, that's when you can just label things. And if you have someone that you love and trust dearly, like sometimes I ask my husband to help me out with those things, and then we're bonding and spending quality time together. Or at least that's what I tell myself. Something I want to impress upon you guys at the beginning of your career is that your level of engagement determines your level of success. So that's not to say that you have to be 24/7 with your pure romance business. That just means committing to it. If you commit to hosting 2 parties a month, commit to it. If you commit to scratching your butt and eating popcorn and not doing anything else, that's fine, but you've committed to that. But if you really want your business to succeed, you need to be engaged in it. So that will, be showing up to things. It's gonna be showing up to your parties even if you've had a bad day or even if it's raining or the weather's not good. I mean, if you've made that commitment to your hostess, she's depending on you. And you can't get mad at her if you give her a lackluster performance just because you've had a bad day. Leave it at the door. The speed of the leader sets the speed of the team. So if you start building a team, that's awesome. Be consistent. Set a steady pace that works for you and be a role model for your team. So that's something I strive to be. No one's ever going to get it perfect right off the bat. Again, I'm 4.5 years into this business. I've recruited over 100 women, and I'm still learning. And I have to constantly learn because my team is ever evolving and the needs are different. But I'm trying to stay consistent with my business so I can show you guys that that's what, this is how a successful business runs, and it's just consistency. It might not be fun, exciting, and sexy, but it produces money. And that was always my goal at the end of the day of why I got into this business. One of the things that is so amazing about pure romance that honestly I've never experienced in a work setting before, even when I was with another direct sales company, was the sisterhood that's just inherently built in. We're in such a unique position that we get to help women with such an intimate part of their lives. And there's something that it's hard for it to be competitive when at the end of the day, you're all in it for the same reasons, and you're all having the same results, and you're all at the end of the day just helping women. Women helping women is so important. And I have seriously loved and I know I get like weird about it when people ask me and they're like, what's the best part of your business? And I would usually say the money and the flexibility, but it really has been my team members and helping them achieve their goals throughout the past 4.5 years. It's amazing to see people that I had never met before trust me enough to join the team and then tell me what their goals are. And then when they hit their goals, I feel like my baby's graduated, and it's just amazing. But that sisterhood is fan-friggin-tastic, and I get to be a mama bear when it comes to that. So if something's gonna threaten my den, I'm gonna like not be cool with it. So I do have some expectations for all my consultants, and that's being nice. Right? If you've got a bad attitude, and if you know there's nothing that's going to get you out of that bad attitude, do not come to our meeting. Do not bring that negative energy into our meeting. This is always going to be a happy place. We're like pink and hearts and flowers and orgasms, and that's how it needs to be all the time. And in the same vein, I'm not going to bring my dirty laundry to you guys, because it has nothing to do with you guys. And it's not going to help you be amazing if I complain about, oh, I had a crap party. Doesn't matter. Moving on. So be friendly, be positive, be encouraging, help each other. Don't gossip. It's inevitable when you get a group of women together, or at least everyone tells me it's inevitable. I'm trying to prove everybody wrong that there's going to be gossip. Yeah, there's going to be hurt feelings. Yeah, we have different personalities all the time, ever evolving through this group. But as long as everybody just knows that we're all approaching it with everyone's best interest at heart, and we're doing it with like pure hearts and minds and all that kind of fun stuff, it's good. So no gossiping, no hearsay, don't spread rumors. Bleh. If you're trading product, do it fairly, do it honestly, read up about all that kind of fun stuff in the incentive and requirements guide. Don't screw anybody over. If you tell them you're going to get, if you're going to trade something out, do it within a good time frame. Don't make them pester you for that replacement, because that's not their job. You need to run your business the right way. So that was just my little tiny school teacher lecture. But now we'll get to the fun part, the homework. You guys were like, oh shit, there's gonna be homework. Just a little bit. So homework number one, and I'll make sure to post these too so you don't have to worry about writing them all down. Homework number one is turn off your stupid phone notifications. Just do it. Just do it now. Well, don't do it now. Do it after this call. Establish your office hours for the business side of your parties. So I would say an hour or two a week, an hour or two per party. Whatever your life is going to look like. Maybe it's getting up an hour earlier. Maybe it's staying up an hour later. Maybe it's just an hour on a Saturday afternoon, just to kind of get it all done in one shot and focus on those hours. Don't check Facebook during those hours. Set the dates for your Pop the Box and your 2 launch parties. You don't have to know everything yet, but you need to get those dates set. So I posted on our team page the dates that I'm available to help you with those parties in January, and I just need you guys to each claim 2 of those dates and times. And we'll talk more about your Pop the Box and all that jazz individually when we're doing our texts and coaching and that kind of fun stuff. I want you to go ahead for the next 2 months and plot your calendar. So I want you to write down all the personal stuff you have to do, all the work stuff, doctor's appointments, family visits, all that kind of fun stuff. And then I want you to pick which days you're available to party and figure out how many parties you want to have between January and February. So just go ahead and always kind of be thinking 2 months in advance. So start that now. If your goal is you want to have a party a month, that's awesome. Go ahead and pick 2 or 3 dates where you can host that one party, because just because it works with your schedule, it might not work with your potential hostess. I want you to create a business email account, and you can do that on Gmail or Yahoo or Hotmail, but just a business email account that you can run all your stuff through so it doesn't get lost in spam, that you commit to checking daily or every other day. And make sure you update that on the COO so all the Pure Romance emails come through there as well. I want you to look at opening a free business checking account. I know that sounds kind of scary, but this is a business. This isn't a hobby. I know you guys might not be doing this as a 24/7 business like I am. Oh, we're down to less than a minute. I'm going to make this quick, but go ahead and open up a separate business checking account, and I'll have more details for that for you individually. Begin party school and begin your mission impossible. So with that, thank you guys so much for being here. We're going to get cut off shortly, but then we can log back on separately to do our Q&A. But I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording and see you guys in like 30 seconds. Thanks for being here.